Hello students. Welcome to Chapter 2, The Invisible Living World, Beyond Our Naked Eye. In our daily life, we see plants, animals, and human beings around us. However, there is another fascinating world of living organisms that is too small to be seen without special instruments. This hidden world includes cells and microorganisms. In this chapter, we will learn that the cell is the basic unit of life and that every living organism is made up of one or more cells. We will also explore microorganisms such as bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and algae. These tiny organisms play important roles in maintaining environmental balance, helping in food production, and supporting life processes. From an examination point of view, this chapter is very important because it contains definitions, diagrams, examples, comparisons, and applications. Let us begin our journey into the invisible living world. Discovery of cells and microscope. Before the invention of microscopes, people were unaware of the existence of tiny living organisms. The microscope allowed scientists to observe objects that were too small to be seen with the naked eye. In 1665, Robert Hooke examined a thin slice of cork under a microscope. He observed small box-like structures and called them cells. This was the first recorded observation of cells. Later, Antony van Leeuwenhoek developed more powerful microscopes and became the first scientist to observe living microorganisms, including bacteria. Because of his contributions, he is known as the father of microbiology. Remember these important examination points. Robert Hooke is associated with the discovery of cells, while Antony van Leeuwenhoek is known as the father of microbiology. Cell, basic unit of life. A cell is defined as the basic structural and functional unit of life. This means that cells form the structure of all living organisms and perform all essential life functions. Every living organism, whether it is a tiny bacterium or a large elephant, is made up of cells. Some organisms consist of only one cell, while others contain millions or even billions of cells. The main parts of a cell are the cell membrane, cytoplasm, and nucleus. The cell membrane surrounds and protects the cell. The cytoplasm contains various substances and organelles required for life activities. The nucleus acts as the control center of the cell and regulates all cellular functions. The definition of a cell and its main parts are frequently asked in examinations, so students should learn them carefully. Plant cell versus animal cell. Plant cells and animal cells have several similarities, but they also show important differences. Plant cells possess a rigid cell wall outside the cell membrane, which provides support and protection. Animal cells do not have a cell wall. Plant cells contain chloroplasts, which help in photosynthesis and food production. Chloroplasts are absent in animal cells. Another difference is the vacuole. Plant cells usually have a large central vacuole, while animal cells have smaller vacuoles. Plant cells generally have a fixed shape due to the presence of the cell wall, whereas animal cells often have irregular shapes. This comparison between plant and animal cells is one of the most important topics in examinations. Students should practice drawing neat labeled diagrams and remembering these differences. Variation in cell shape. Cells are not all identical in shape and size. Different cells have different structures because they perform different functions. Muscle cells are spindle-shaped and elongated. Their shape helps them contract and produce movement. Nerve cells are long and branched. This structure allows them to transmit messages quickly throughout the body. Cheek cells are thin and flat. They form a protective lining inside the mouth and help protect underlying tissues. These examples demonstrate an important biological principle. The structure of a cell is related to its function. Cells are specially designed to perform particular tasks efficiently. Questions related to examples of cell shapes and their functions are commonly asked in examinations. Levels of organization. In multicellular organisms, life is organized in different levels. The smallest level is the cell. Groups of similar cells working together form a tissue. Different tissues combine to form an organ. Multiple organs work together as an organ system. Finally, all organ systems together make a complete organism. For example, muscle cells form muscle tissue. Muscle tissue contributes to organs such as the heart. The heart is part of the circulatory system, and the circulatory system is one of the major organ systems in the human body. This sequence can be remembered as cell, tissue, organ, organ system, and organism. Students should understand this hierarchy carefully because it is frequently tested in examinations. Microorganisms. Microorganisms are living organisms that are too small to be seen with the naked eye. They can only be observed using a microscope. Microorganisms are present almost everywhere. They live in water, soil, air, and even inside the bodies of plants and animals. There are 4 major groups of microorganisms discussed in this chapter. These are bacteria, protozoa, fungi, and algae. Bacteria are single-celled organisms found in a variety of environments. Protozoa are microscopic organisms with a well-defined nucleus. Fungi include organisms such as yeast and molds. Algae are simple organisms that can prepare their own food through photosynthesis. Students should remember both the definition and the major groups of microorganisms because these are very important examination topics. Importance of microorganisms. Microorganisms perform many beneficial functions in nature and in our daily lives. One important role is decomposition. Microorganisms break down dead plants and animals into simpler substances. This process helps recycle nutrients in the environment. Microorganisms also help in the formation of manure, which improves soil fertility and supports plant growth. Certain microorganisms are used in biogas production. They break down organic waste and release gases that can be used as fuel. Many microorganisms live inside the digestive system and help in the digestion of food. Some bacteria, such as rhizobium, fix atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into forms that plants can use. This improves soil fertility naturally. Because of these important functions, microorganisms are essential for maintaining environmental balance and supporting life on Earth. Microorganisms in food. Microorganisms are widely used in food preparation through a process called fermentation. Yeast is commonly used in baking bread and cakes. During fermentation, yeast releases carbon dioxide gas. This gas makes the dough soft, fluffy, and spongy. Lactobacillus is a beneficial bacterium that converts milk sugar into lactic acid. This process transforms milk into curd and gives it its characteristic taste. Other bacteria are involved in the fermentation of foods such as idli and dosa batter. Fermentation improves texture, taste, and digestibility. The role of yeast and lactobacillus is frequently asked in examinations. Students should clearly understand how these microorganisms contribute to food production. And important questions. Let us revise the important points from this chapter. A cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Organisms may be unicellular or multicellular. Microorganisms are tiny living organisms that can only be seen under a microscope. The major groups of microorganisms are bacteria, protozoa, fungi, and algae. Microorganisms play important roles in decomposition, food production, digestion, biogas production, and nitrogen fixation. Rhizobium bacteria improve soil fertility by fixing atmospheric nitrogen. For examinations, students should focus on definitions, diagrams, comparisons, examples, and applications. Practice important questions such as defining a cell, differentiating plant and animal cells, explaining microorganisms, describing the role of yeast, and discussing the importance of microbes in nature. Regular revision of these concepts will help you score well in examinations. Thank you students for joining this lesson on the invisible living world beyond our naked eye. Keep learning, stay curious, and continue exploring the wonders of science. Best wishes for your studies and examinations.